Hello everyone! Welcome to day one of the 5-day Sound Like a Broken Record Challenge for the sake of your mom coaching biz, for the love of getting your coaching gifts to the mamas who need them most. And welcome! Welcome! I got speaking notes here so we can stay on track. So if you signed up, yay, you're in the running to win a fabulous prize. So make sure that you are on the email list. It's smattered all over this group, but basically every day you're gonna get a worksheet, and I tried my darndest to make it short and sweet but impactful as possible. So you're able to type right in your responses. You don't have to write a novel, but it is fillable, meaning once you download it, type in the areas and you could save as and store it in your computer, and then just email it to me when it's convenient for you. And the email, you can find that in any of the emails you receive for the challenge. And then if I collect 5 worksheets from you, you're in the draw. And you also get brownie points if you leave a comment in any of our daily live trainings. So the worksheet is just going to be available for you to allow your responses, and I am going to kind of give you the answers in these live trainings or inspire you to dig in deeper for that. So let's just dive right in. First of all, day one is called Why You Want to Sound Like a Broken Record. And let me just really quick, I forgot to mention the prizes. Let me really quick, the prizes, you saw it in your welcome email. But the grand prize is a 2-hour intensive with me, which is a value of $1,000. And then I'm also offering a mom coaching biz birth kit, and you can value that at $300, and that is a resource library for everything you need to birth your mom coaching biz, including templates, forms, master classes, mindset work, interviews with guest experts over the years who are superstars in their own niche and related to growing your mom coaching biz. All right, now that is out of the way. Let's get right into the meat of it. So today is called Why You Want to Sound Like a Broken Record, and there is space in your worksheet to put down one of the reasons I'm going to share here that speaks most to you, why you feel like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And or if something else comes up, if you just instinctively know that yes, it is important that we get really clear and concise in our messaging, because we are in a business where we need to really stand out in a way that is very valuable and makes us stand out. This is what I'm all about. So these next 5 days is going to walk you through a process that's going to make you feel really confident, and this is what you're all about. And you're going to get into this group that is called Sounding Like a Broken Record, so that we can reach your ideal clients over and over and over again. So reason number 1 is, once you get clear on the speaking points, the messaging, what you want to share with your ideal client over and over and over again, is going to simplify the rest of your business. So just like a beautiful spider web, every part of our business is interconnected. So if we can keep all of those strings that attach each other as simple as possible, it's just going to build simplicity upon that. As I like to say to my son, it's kind of weird, but I like to say, I go in his room and I'm always like, handsome is as handsome does. So I just call him Handsome Is, just for short. But simple is as simple does. So if you have just a handful of main talking points, then you could just lean on that when you're coming up with your coaching offer, lean on that when it's coming up with your marketing plan, and then you can master all these areas and you can relax more into what makes up your coaching business. So number 1 is simplifies the rest of your biz. Number 2 is that once you relax into this, then you can start really owning your expertise. So what that means is, if you can just really get into a groove of repeating yourself, then you can start getting kind of creative with it. You can start pulling in examples from your life in areas you never would have thought of. You get to sit and think of why is this one of my broken record messages? And then you start to come up with like little like pangs of downloads from the universe. So this means you start creating your own intellectual property after a while. So if we can just almost like a quiet meditation, a mantra, then you start to really speak to it from a genuine place. And that is going to be powerful with time. Number 3 is just the nature of our times. People, their attention spans are shortening, so they need to hear the same thing over and over again. People, I don't know, it's just technology, but also even before technology. Right after university, I actually worked in a marketing business. It was very small. There's 3 of us. And one of the things we did was on hold commercials. So it was brought to my attention the importance of repeating yourself, because you never know when someone's going to be put on hold and at what part of the loop that the commercial was coming. So it was just, I did everything. I went to the recording studio. I went and wrote the commercials. So it was important when writing that we just would repeat ourselves over and over again. So same thing when we're showing up at social media. It's like we don't know at what point people are going to fall into our world. So they just needs to repeat. And people who are digging you, they're not going to mind. They're not going to mind hearing the same thing over and over again. Because number 4, subconsciously, it's like we're all overgrown babies, and babies love predictability. That is why it's so encouraged to have some kind of rhythm at home, so that the small child understands. They find comfort in knowing what's coming up next. So it's kind of, I like to think of this too with our messaging. It's almost like number 5, actually no, it's almost like it's actually number 7. Let's jump right into number 7. It's almost like it starts to create a culture inside your community, almost like in a family where you have your inside jokes, so that once you start sounding like a broken record, people who are following you, they start to associate that with you in a very loving way. It's just like, oh, that's just crazy Aunt Kathy who's always talking about, but then they know that when they enter a training or working with you one-on-one, they're able to really understand a little bit of the background about why you're so passionate about these points, and they want to really integrate this themselves on a deeper level. All right, backtracking to number 4. Number 5. It helps you create results for your client even before they sign up to work with you. And this is going to be part of the process. I'm going to be working with you on these next 5 days. So you really want to just think really deeply about your ideal client, and this is coming up, your niche statement, and you are going to consciously design your process to get them to their results, and that is what's going to dictate your broken record soundtrack. All right, number 6, it builds confidence, because it's almost like you're brainwashing yourself in a good way. So the more you repeat yourself, the more you really feel conviction of why this is important. And when you say it over and over again, you're not shy about giving your opinion. So I'm finding this is happening more and more with me as I get older, as my business gets older. And when I'm participating in conversations, I'm quite passionate about a few aspects of the coaching industry that aren't controversial, but it's you're either on the niching camp or the not niching camp. You're in the DMing camp or you're in the non-DMing camp. So it's almost like you set up camp, and when there's a conversation and everyone's like, oh yeah, for sure, yada yada, then you could be like, nope, wink, you put your stake in the sand. I'm like, no, this is what I'm all about. And people can feel your confidence. And when you explain why, then you start collecting reasons that you've observed, examples from your life, some wins from your clients. And you say, well, I noticed with my client, when we approached this in this way, this is how I see it. So I notice as I get older, I just did my own personal opinion about a parenting thing. And I was just like, no, and it was totally going against everyone else. It wasn't like super controversial, but I don't know, I feel a little bit lately like an elder. And I'm like, there's some proof in the pudding. This is what I observed. And it also works in the realm of my business. So you start to see, once you start becoming an old biddy, you get more brave in sharing what your opinion is, and you don't mind because you just say it so often. It's like you're the queen of the karaoke club. You start to kind of like get a little bit sassy. Finally, number 8, we skipped over, we did 7 already. And this is related to one of my own opinions. And I shared this on a recent podcast. My culture here, the name of my group, Mom Coaches Getting Clients. This word got someone's panties in a bunch, and I own it. So sounding like a broken record, it gets you clients. And what I mean by that, it attracts people to you who are digging your vibe. It gets you clients, meaning people start to understand you on a deeper level because you get them, because you meditated on what you're going to be sharing with them, and you get them because you meditated on them, and they're going to get you because they're going to understand more where you come from. And also how it gets you clients is that people are going to start to hum the riff of your broken record over and over again. And it's kind of like when you go to a concert and like you go to a concert, for instance, I tried going to a concert, Morrissey, right, from the Smiths. Me and my girlfriend went. Surprise, surprise, he canceled the show at the last minute. But I was anticipating, and I'm like, I hope he plays his old Smith songs because I don't know his newest album. So it's like when people go to your concert and they get to like mouth the words alongside with you, this is like this, again, going back to that culture that you're creating, and people are like, yes, I'm all over it. Okay, so those are all the benefits, and there's so many more. So in the worksheet, if you just want to like, again, very briefly share why you're excited about sounding like a broken record from that list or from your own, or even go a little bit deeper. There's space for you to write a little bit more if you feel inspired to. And despite of all of these reasons why you want to sound like a broken record, there is still going to be some trepidation that comes up, which is totally normal. So there's space too for you to, I believe there's space for you to share why you might be feeling apprehensive about dedicating yourself to this process. There might be some fear there, and there's always going to be fear anytime we step up to become more visible, especially in our business. And that is what sounding like a broken record essentially is becoming more visible, because you're going to be challenging yourself to spread that message, these broken record little snippets, far and wide, over and over again. And that's going to bring some stuff up. Stuff like you're going to annoy people. Maybe you're going to say the wrong thing over and over again. You'll be boring yourself and others, or you don't want to sound like you're saying the same thing like everyone else is saying over and over again, or you don't want to sound like you're being a little too different, like you're trying too hard, right? Or you're not sure what you're saying over and over again is going to help or not. So I just want to say these are totally normal, and that is why I encourage not only my clients but also myself every day doing some mind work to remind me of that's okay, because my intentions are good, because I can always change my mind. Like my favorite saying is, the girl's always allowed to change her mind, right? So if you're feeling like, you know what, my messaging is a little off now, I'm just going to tweak. I'm going to evaluate what's working. And the fear of stuff of like annoying people, I just like to check in to be like, okay, is that a people pleasing residue from the way I was brought up. So just always kind of questioning what is the real fear here. And what I find it works for me is actually the last prompt in your worksheet today is to lean on my niche statement. So every day I write down, I help mom coaches get clients so that they could reach their income goals and build the freedom and the joy of supporting moms in a way that they always felt that they were meant to. So however you want to riff off of your niche statement, I encourage you to start each day with that. And this is also going to build the foundation of what your broken record is going to sound like, so that when you feel any self-consciousness or shyness around repeating yourself over and over again in these ways that we're going to set up in the next few days, you're going to get anchored in with that niche statement. And that is a beautiful reason to show up every day to serve. So don't be shy. Look at what your niche statement is in the worksheet. There's space for you to write that. And there's also a link to check out my video if you feel stumped, and it's going to help you set up with a niche statement that feels good and does so in a fun way. All right, so thanks for showing up live for day one. I want to keep these training videos short and sweet. I know you're a busy mama, and have fun with today's worksheets. Remember to fill it in, save as, and you can shoot that off to me either today or by Friday, and I'll be doing the draw for the 2 winners on Saturday morning. And let me know if you have any questions by leaving them in the comments below, or reach out to me with a private message at any point, anytime. I'm here for you. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for joining us. Bye.